I, 35M, never thought I'd be writing something like this, but I need to get this off my chest before I lose my mind. My whole world turned upside down last month, and I'm still trying to process everything that happened. I've been married to Belinda for 8 years, and what I thought was a happy marriage turned out to be a complete lie. I met Belinda at a local food festival through mutual friends. I was there with my college roommate and his wife, and Belinda came with her gym friends. She was bubbly, confident, and had this infectious laugh that made everyone around her smile. We hit it off immediately. She was working as a fitness trainer at a small gym back then, and I had just started my architecture firm. We dated for 2 years before getting married. The first few years of our marriage were great. We bought a house in a nice neighborhood 4 years ago. Belinda switched to a bigger gym with better pay, and my business was doing well. We traveled a lot, had a great group of friends, and everyone thought we were the perfect couple. We never had any major issues except for the usual stuff couples fight about, me working late sometimes or her spending too much on gym gear. Things started changing about 6 months ago when Morgan, 37M, and his wife Jenny moved in next door. They seemed like a nice couple. Morgan works from home as a software developer while Jenny travels almost every week for her consulting job. Belinda and I invited them for dinner to welcome them to the neighborhood. Everything was normal until Belinda mentioned that Morgan had joined her gym. Belinda started talking about Morgan more frequently. She would come home and tell me how he was struggling with his form and how she was helping him out. I actually encouraged her to help him because I thought it would be good to have friendly neighbors. Morgan would sometimes come over when I was working in my home office to ask Belinda about workout routines. I never suspected anything because Belinda had many clients from the gym who would consult her. Last month, I had an important meeting with a client who was staying at the Marriott downtown. This client was planning to build a luxury apartment complex, and it would have been the biggest project for my firm. I reached the hotel early and had a productive meeting. As I was walking through the lobby with my client, discussing some final details, I saw Belinda and Morgan coming out of the elevator. My heart stopped when I saw them. Belinda was wearing a dress I had never seen before, and they were walking too close to each other. She was laughing and playfully hitting his arm. I quickly took out my phone and started recording them while pretending to show something to my client on my phone. They were holding hands, and Belinda quickly let go when they reached the hotel entrance. She kept looking around nervously, probably checking if anyone had seen them. I wanted to confront them right there, but I was with my client. I couldn't afford to make a scene and lose this project. I made an excuse about having another meeting and followed them outside. They got into Morgan's car and drove off. I was shaking with anger and felt sick to my stomach. When I reached home that evening, Belinda was acting completely normal. She was making dinner and talking about her day at the gym. She mentioned how busy she was with her clients and how tired she felt. I checked her location history on Google Maps. We share our locations for safety reasons, and saw that she was at the Marriott for 3 hours in the afternoon. She had even marked herself as busy on the gym scheduling app during those hours. I spent the next week gathering evidence. I'm not proud of what I did, but I needed proof. I installed cameras in our house when Belinda was at work, one in the living room and one in the backyard. I also put a voice recorder in her car. I told my assistant to clear my schedule for the next few days and worked from home to monitor everything. The evidence I gathered was devastating. The cameras caught them kissing in our backyard when I was supposedly at work. Belinda would text me that she was with a client while Morgan came over. The voice recorder caught their conversations about their hotel meetings and how they needed to be careful. They even talked about their weekend plans when Jenny would be traveling next. I confronted Belinda with all the evidence after making copies of everything. Her reaction made me sick. She first tried to act confused, asking me why I was showing her these things. When I played the recordings, she tried to minimize everything, saying they were just friends and I was misinterpreting things. Finally, when I showed her the video from the hotel and their backyard meetings, she broke down. She started crying and saying she was naive and Morgan had manipulated her. According to her, Morgan started flirting with her during their training sessions and she got carried away. She said she was feeling lonely because I was always busy with work. She begged me to give her another chance, saying it was just a physical thing and she never had any feelings for Morgan. I was furious and went to confront Morgan. He was in his garage working on his car when I walked up to him with the evidence. His reaction was worse than Belinda's. He actually laughed and told me to control my wife. He said Belinda was the one who made advances towards him during their training sessions. He showed me messages where Belinda had complained about how I was always busy with work and didn't give her enough attention. According to him, she was the one who suggested meeting at hotels because Jenny was always traveling. He said he just gave her what she wanted and I should be mad at her, not him. I filed for divorce the next day. I had enough evidence to prove infidelity, so my lawyer said the divorce would be in my favor. I moved out of our house and into a hotel because I couldn't stand being in the same house where they had their affair. That's when things got really ugly. Belinda started telling everyone that I was making up stories about her affair because I wanted to hide my own affair with my assistant. She said I had photoshopped the pictures and edited the videos to frame her. She even went to my clients and told them I was unstable and they shouldn't work with me. She filed a harassment case against me saying I installed cameras and recording devices to stalk her. My life turned into hell overnight. Some of our mutual friends started avoiding me. Even my parents were confused about who to believe because Belinda had always been so sweet to them. I'm writing this post because I need to vent and maybe get some advice. My lawyer says we have a strong case, but I'm still worried. Belinda seems capable of anything at this point. Has anyone been in a similar situation? How did you handle it? Did you manage to prove your innocence against false accusations? Update 1. First, I want to thank everyone who commented on my original post. Your support and advice helped me stay strong during these difficult weeks. A lot has happened since my last post, and unfortunately, things got much worse before a breakthrough happened. Belinda has been on a mission to destroy my reputation completely. She's been spreading horrible lies about me to anyone who will listen. Last week, she made a long social media post about being a survivor of domestic abuse. She claimed I had been controlling and abusive throughout our marriage. According to her post, I constantly checked her phone, controlled her finances, and isolated her from her friends. She even said I forced her to share her location with me so I could track her movements. The reality was that we shared locations because Belinda used to go running early in the morning and wanted me to be able to check on her for safety. She was actually the one who suggested it. As for the finances, we had separate accounts and a joint account for household expenses. She had complete control over her money from her personal training sessions. Several of her gym friends had been sending me threatening messages. One guy, who I later found out was her client, showed up at my hotel and tried to pick a fight. The hotel security had to intervene. I filed a police report, but they said they couldn't do much unless he actually did something. I lost 3 major clients because of Belinda's lies. One client specifically mentioned that they couldn't risk working with someone involved in a domestic abuse scandal. My assistant Lisa has been amazing through all this. She's been handling calls from clients and trying to do damage control, which ironically has given Belinda more ammunition for her claims about my affair with Lisa. But here's where things get interesting. Yesterday, Jenny, Morgan's wife, came to my office. She looked terrible, like she hadn't slept in days. She apologized for coming unannounced but said she had something important to show me. Turns out, Jenny had been suspicious of Morgan's behavior for months. She noticed he was being overly protective of his phone and was spending a lot of time at the gym despite not showing any real fitness improvements. Jenny hired a private investigator 3 months ago. The Pies report was shocking. Belinda and Morgan didn't just meet at the gym, they had matched on a dating app 6 months ago, even before Morgan and Jenny moved to our neighborhood. Jenny showed me pictures of them meeting at various places before they even joined the same gym. The gym was just their cover story. The Pie had collected hotel receipts, screenshots of their dating app conversations, and pictures from various locations. The most shocking revelation was about their Vegas trip 3 months ago. Belinda had told me she was attending a fitness workshop, and Morgan told Jenny he was going to a coding boot camp. In reality, they spent the weekend together at the Bellagio. The Pie had pictures of them by the pool, at restaurants, and entering their hotel room. Jenny broke down while showing me all this. She said she had been gathering evidence for her own divorce case but didn't know how to tell me. She felt guilty for not coming forward sooner but was dealing with her own trauma. She also revealed that this wasn't Morgan's first affair. He had cheated on her twice before in California, which is why they moved here for a fresh start. When Belinda found out that Jenny had come to see me, she completely lost it. She started calling and texting Jenny nonstop, calling her horrible names and accusing her of trying to steal me away from her. The irony of Belinda accusing someone else of being a homewrecker would be funny if it wasn't so pathetic. Jenny recorded all these calls and messages, which will help both our cases. My lawyer was ecstatic when I showed him Jenny's evidence. He says this proves premeditation and completely destroys Belinda's narrative of being manipulated by Morgan. The evidence also shows that Belinda was the one who suggested they move to our neighborhood when their house went up for sale, probably to make their affair more convenient. Jenny and I have decided to help each other with our divorce cases. We're sharing legal expenses and evidence. Morgan still doesn't know about Jenny's pie, and we're planning to blindside him in court. Jenny's lawyer thinks we should wait until Morgan makes his official statement denying the affair before presenting the evidence. My parents finally believed me after seeing the Pies report. My mom cried when she saw the Vegas pictures and kept apologizing for ever doubting me. They've been incredibly supportive and have even offered to help me financially if I need it. Dad wants me to move back to my hometown and restart my business there, but I'm not ready to make that decision yet. The next court date is in 2 weeks. My lawyer is confident that Belinda's harassment case against me will be thrown out once we present all the evidence. He's also preparing a countersuit for defamation based on her false abuse allegations and the damage she's caused to my business. The only silver lining in all this is that some of our mutual friends have started reaching out to apologize after hearing about the Pies' evidence. A few of them admitted that Belinda's stories seemed inconsistent, but they were afraid to say anything. One friend even told me that Belinda had tried to hit on her husband last year, but he shut her down and didn't tell me to avoid causing problems. I'm trying to stay focused on my work and the legal process, but it's hard. Every time I think things can't get worse, Belinda finds a new way to hurt me. My lawyer advised me to stay in the hotel for now and document everything. I've started seeing a counselor to help me deal with all this stress. I'll update again after the court hearing. Thank you all for your support and advice. Update 2: The truth finally exploded in court today, and it was more dramatic than any of us expected. Everything changed when Belinda's ex-boyfriend Tom, who's the head trainer at her gym, came forward to testify. I hadn't mentioned Tom in my previous posts because I honestly didn't think he was relevant to our case. I was wrong. Tom contacted my lawyer last week after hearing about Belinda's abuse allegations against me. He said he had important information that would expose Belinda's pattern of behavior. My lawyer was skeptical at first, but Tom had receipts for everything he claimed. In court today, Tom revealed that Belinda had a long history of cheating and manipulation. They dated for 2 years before she met me, and during that time, she cheated on him with at least 3 different gym clients. What's worse is that she used to brag about her conquests to her friend Lisa, not my assistant Lisa, different person, through texts and voice messages, which Lisa later shared with Tom after their messy breakup. Tom's testimony got really intense when he revealed that Belinda had tried to seduce him again 3 months ago, right in the middle of her affair with Morgan. According to Tom, she cornered him in his office after hours and suggested they relive old times. When he rejected her advances and threatened to tell me about it, she immediately switched tactics and threatened to report him to gym management for harassment. That's when Tom started documenting everything. He showed the court his security camera footage from his office, text messages where Belinda threatened him, and recordings of their conversations where she admitted to cheating on me multiple times. The judge's face got sterner with each piece of evidence. But the real bombshell came when Tom revealed why he finally decided to come forward. Apparently, Belinda had been telling people at the gym that she was pregnant with Morgan's baby to gain sympathy. Tom knew this was impossible because Belinda had confidentially told him years ago that she couldn't have children due to a medical condition. He had medical records to prove this. Morgan's face turned white when he heard about the pregnancy lies. He looked at Belinda like he was seeing her for the first time. Jenny later told me that Morgan had been considering leaving her for Belinda because of the supposed pregnancy. Belinda had a complete meltdown in court. She started screaming that everyone was conspiring against her. She called Tom a liar and tried to throw her water bottle at him. The judge had to threaten her with contempt of court 3 times before she calmed down. After Tom's testimony, Belinda's friend Lisa approached me in the courthouse hallway. She was crying and apologizing profusely. She admitted that she had known about Belinda's affair with Morgan from the beginning, but Belinda had blackmailed her into staying quiet. Apparently, Belinda had evidence of Lisa cheating on her taxes and threatened to report her to the IRS if she ever told me anything. Lisa also revealed something that made me physically sick. Before Morgan, Belinda had cheated on me with 2 other men, a delivery guy who used to bring her protein supplements and her massage therapist. Lisa couldn't provide any evidence for these affairs, but given everything else we'd learned, I believed her. The judge didn't take long to throw out Belinda's harassment case against me. She ruled that my actions of installing cameras and recording devices were justified given the circumstances and my suspicions. She also noted that all surveillance was done in common areas of my own home and in my own car, which was legal. Morgan tried to do damage control by claiming he was also a victim of Belinda's manipulation, but Jenny's PI evidence shut him down quickly. The PI had found emails where Morgan was coaching Belinda on what to say in her harassment case against me. They had planned to force me into a costly settlement that they would split between them. The most satisfying moment came when Belinda's lawyer quit right there in court. He said he couldn't continue representing her after discovering she had lied to him about several key facts. He apologized to the court and to me for some of the allegations he had made based on Belinda's lies. My divorce case is now proceeding smoothly. The judge has already indicated that Belinda's behavior will be considered when dividing assets. Morgan and Jenny's divorce is also moving forward, and from what Jenny told me, Morgan's attempts to hide assets aren't working out too well for him. I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders. The truth is finally out, and people can see Belinda for who she really is. Some of her fitness clients have already started requesting different trainers at the gym. I'll update again once everything is finalized. Right now, I just want to thank Tom for having the courage to come forward. His testimony didn't just save my reputation, it probably saved me from years of dealing with Belinda's lies and manipulation. Update 3: Final update on this nightmare. The divorce is officially over, and the judge's ruling exceeded my lawyer's expectations. Belinda not only failed to get half of my business, but she also had to pay my legal fees because of her false allegations and the damage she caused to my reputation. The week after the ruling, Belinda showed up at my office unannounced. My assistant tried to stop her, but she pushed past her. She looked terrible, like she hadn't slept in days. She started crying and saying she had made a huge mistake. According to her, she was getting therapy and had realized she had serious issues with validation and commitment. She even brought up our first date and talked about how happy we were in the beginning. I just sat there, letting her talk. When she finished, I simply asked her to leave and told her that if she ever came to my office again, I would file for a restraining order. She tried to grab my hand, but I pulled away. The look of shock on her face when she realized I was completely done with her was almost satisfying. The aftermath of the divorce has been interesting. Most of my clients have returned after learning the truth. 2 of them even gave me bigger projects as a way of apologizing for believing Belinda's lies. My business is actually doing better than before because the whole drama somehow got me free publicity in local business circles. Jenny and I have remained friends. We meet for coffee every couple of weeks and help each other process everything that happened. She got a great settlement in her divorce because of all the evidence she had collected. Morgan had to sell their house and split everything 70-30 in Jenny's favor because he had used their joint accounts to fund his affair with Belinda. Jenny bought a nice condo downtown and got a promotion at work. Tom has been surprisingly supportive throughout this ordeal. He introduced me to some of his friends, and we've formed a nice social circle. He and Lisa have been actively helping me repair my reputation, telling everyone who would listen about Belinda's pattern of lying and manipulation. Belinda's life took a nosedive after the divorce. The gym fired her after several clients complained about her behavior. Apparently, she had been trying to flirt with their husbands even after everything came out in court. She tried to claim unemployment, saying she was fired unjustly, but the gym had documented all the complaints against her. I heard from mutual friends that she's now working at a small gym in the next town over. She created new social media accounts and is trying to rebrand herself as a life coach who helps people overcome adversity. The irony is almost painful. She's also dating some guy she met online, and according to Jenny's friends, she's already telling people he's the love of her life. Morgan moved back to California after his divorce. Jenny heard from his ex-colleagues that he's trying to start his own software company but is struggling because some potential investors Googled him and found out about the court case. As for me, I've decided to expand my business to the next state. I've already rented an office there and hired new staff. The distance will be good for me. I've sold our old house, couldn't stand looking at that backyard anymore, and bought a nice apartment in the city. I'm not ready to date yet, but I'm at peace with everything that happened. My parents want me to try online dating, but I've told them I need time. Right now, I'm focusing on my business and myself. To anyone going through something similar, document everything and trust your gut. If I hadn't recorded those initial encounters, Belinda's lies might have destroyed my life completely. Sometimes the people we trust the most are the ones capable of hurting us the worst. This will be my last update. Thank you all for your support throughout this journey. Time to close this chapter and move forward.